Hey guys, before I bring you to today's great content, I want to remind you of a few things. Number one, we're in the month of June, which is the last month of quarter number 2 for 2024. The next thing I want to remind you is that means that you have just one more month to take advantage of our Pro Web initiative, which is basically saving you 50% on a brand new website that's fully functional, has a scheduler, and a host of other things there. So if you don't want to miss out on this opportunity, click on the Pro Web link below in the show notes and find out more about this wonderful promotion. Once again, we are ending this promotion as of June 30th, 2024. And I don't want you to miss out. So head on over to the show notes, look for the Pro Web link, click on it, and get all the information right then and there. So until then, enjoy the content.
Hello and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms, the podcast that provides you with all the latest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are looking to substantially increase your caseload in the next 6 months, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy. Welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everyone. I hope you guys are having a rockin' week thus far. Today I want to talk to you about something that I don't know if I ever talked to you guys about on this show. I mean, I know it's a topic that we've discussed with my clients. But I was looking back at the archives. I was talking to my podcasting team. I said, man, did I ever have an episode talking about this topic? And, as we went back, I mean, we've been doing the show for 5 years now. We didn't go all the way back, but we went back as far as 3 years ago and we didn't find anything. So I guess I owe you guys an apology for not bringing this topic to light. And the topic I'm talking about is geofencing for attorneys. Does it really work? Here's why I want to bring this up. I had a conversation with a potential client of mine, and he's pretty much done everything with marketing. As we were talking and trying to see if he wanted to do business with us or not, he came across, he goes, hey, everything you've talked about, we've done. And, some work, some don't. The one thing we have not done thus far, because we don't think it works, is geofencing. What is it? And, give me some insight as to whether or not you think it will work. And, so we gave him the answer. And we shall see whether or not he takes us up on our offer. So I'll keep you posted on that, folks, for those of you who care. But anyway, I do want to talk to you about ways that geofencing can actually work for law firm marketing. Okay. So for those of you who don't know what geofencing is, let me break that down a little bit. Geofencing is basically a way where you can advertise to people on their mobile devices when they are in a particular area. So that's the only time they see it, and then it actually stays tagged to them. So in other words, if you enter a particular area, let's just say I'm a Dunkin' Donuts. Let's put it this way: I'm a Dunkin' Donuts, and I want to siphon some or advertise my coffee. Let's say I want to advertise my coffee to other coffee drinkers. So I put a virtual fence that's called geofencing, using some very sophisticated software, by the way. That's how it works. Around, say, I don't know, 20 Starbucks in the area. So every time somebody walks into this Starbucks, I have, they will have advertising about my Dunkin' Donuts. So maybe I have a special going on or something like buy one, get one free or whatever the special is. But the only time they see that ad is when they walked into any of the Starbucks that I've targeted. And it's, of course, it's close to my Dunkin' Donuts, right? So that's just an example of how geofencing works. So people always say, well, how does that work for attorneys? Well, I'm going to tell you how that works for attorneys. I'm going to give you a few examples. I'm going to give you as many examples as I can so that you can see how this can work for an attorney. And maybe you guys want to try this yourself. All right. So number one, well, I'm not even going to name them because it's going to be a few that I'm going to list out, and I don't know how many I got, but I there's so many, and this is all off the cuff. Normally, I prepare my episodes and I'm going down, but I'm going to go off the cuff here because again, I just got this information, and I said, you know what, this will be a good topic for the podcast. After speaking to my potential client. So again, I'll let you know if he does become a client. All right. So one of the things that you can do, this geofencing thing, is you can put a geofence around courthouses and legal districts. Okay. You want to target the individuals in and around courthouses and legal districts. That way you can put your ad. So if you're, a family law attorney or whatever, a criminal law attorney, anything like that, you want to put these geofences around these courthouses and legal districts so that way you can put your ad in front of them on their mobile phone. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. When you do this, it's actually that when they walk away from the fence, you can configure it in a way where you can say, okay, I want it, 90 days, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. The maximum you can tag someone is 180 days. What we have found where the sweet spot is in terms of getting conversions is the 90-day mark. There are some occasions that we do it for 30 days, but we find that the conversion isn't as high because, you only tag for 30 days. So what tagging means is that you see it. So even if you leave the courtyard, 30 days later, 90 days later, you'll still see it. On the 91st day, you'll stop seeing the ad. That's just a remembrance of, that's just giving them information about your firm. So courthouses is a good thing to tag. Not to tag, to geofence. Another good thing to geofence is hospitals and medical centers. And this is primarily for personal injury attorneys. You want to be advertising to the individuals in the hospitals that, maybe they were in an accident or something. They sustained some sort of an injury. So you want to have ads there for a good amount of time. Now, I know I told you that the sweet spot is 90 days. In this case, I would do it for the maximum, which is 180 days. Only because sometimes it takes people a little longer to realize, hey, I can actually I have a potential case here. Sometimes, especially when you're in a hospital. So I guess this is on a case-by-case basis. I mean, general rule of thumb, tag them for 90 days. But in this instance, when you talk about hospitals and medical centers, you want to go 180. Okay. Now, this is a controversial one that I'm going to mention because a lot of people say, well, why would you do that? But also competitor law firms. And Is it the best thing to do? Not always, but if you geofence a competitor law firm and you want to target individuals seeking legal services that are entering that law firm, it just give them awareness that there's another option. And here's the reason why this is effective. And again, with this one, I would also do 180. Here's the reason why this is a good option. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the offices of my clients, and I've heard, them say, yeah, this guy came to me because he was represented by XYZ attorney, and he felt that he was being ignored, or she felt that she was being ignored. And that's why they decided to pick up the phone and call me, because they wanted to see, hey, can I get different representation? So that leads you to believe that why not, right? I mean, not everyone is for anyone. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad attorney, right? It just means that you're not the right attorney for this particular individual. So yeah, why not put fences around the competitor law firm? That's not a bad. I mean, a lot of people frown upon it as well. But you're siphoning data, you're siphoning clients. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that it's something that can be done. And so if that's something that you're interested in, hey, and you want to do geofencing, that's a good practice. Real estate offices. And this is primarily for real estate attorneys. And you want to be targeting individuals that are visiting real estate offices. And because a lot of times, like for instance, if you're in a state like, New York, New Jersey, and parts of New Jersey actually, where you need a real estate attorney, you want to find out who's entering these firms, and you can get some data from them and say, hey, oh wow, I need a real estate attorney. The guy that I used the last time I bought a house, he didn't do a good job for me. Or maybe you walked into one and you didn't even know that you needed a real estate attorney, and you want to vet them out, but now you have another option. So that's another thing that you want to geofence: a real estate attorney. Real estate attorney offices around your area. Business conferences and events. This is really, really, really cool, especially for like the corporate law, and the intellectual property law. This is really cool when you go to business conferences and events. You want to target those conferences and get a ton of potential people that could use your services, especially in those two practice areas, corporate law and intellectual property law. That's really, really, really important. Let me see. Again, this is off the cuff, so I'm just shooting from the hip here. Possibly universities and colleges, right? Depending on what type of cases that you're going for, you can actually put like geofences around the school campuses, because again, these are possible leads for you. It all depends on the types of cases, okay, that you're going for. Let me see. Again, I'm just trying to think about situations here. I guess immigration centers are good. You could put geofencing immigration. You could geofence immigration centers, and that's going to help like an immigration lawyer. If you're an immigration lawyer, you definitely want to put geofence around immigration centers, because you're going to get you should get a lot of potential clients there. Let me see. Trade unions, labor centers, like anything in employment law or labor law capacity, that's a really good place to put a geofence around. Let me see. Home and trade shows, like for construction law, consumer fraud, home issues, that kind of stuff. When you need a lawyer, the people who are looking for a lawyer for that, that's really, really, really powerful too, where you can do. Again, these are tons of ideas, and I could probably come up with more. And actually, I'm not even done that. I just came up with another. I was about to say that's about it for now, but I just remembered a few more. Near courthouses. So I talked about the courthouses itself, but you can also fence near the courthouses where people are hanging out near the courthouses, for criminal defense services, things like that. Those are pretty cool too, because you just don't want to do it around the courthouse itself, which is powerful, but near it too. People are hanging out outside, maybe in little shops around the courthouse. That's a really cool thing too. Let me see. Since I'm in the criminal realm, let's talk about bail bonds agencies. You can fence the bail bond agencies. People visiting bail bond agencies, and they pretty much an immediate need for a criminal defense service, right? For the most part. I just thought about something, and I'm glad I didn't end this thing early, because I just thought about another one. Chiropractor and physical therapy centers are really, really cool for personal injury. Because a lot of times when people are going to chiropractors is as a result of a personal injury that they endured. So again, this will be another example of a good 180-day campaign as opposed to a 90-day campaign. Same thing with orthopedic clinics. That's another thing for serious injuries that you can fence and get potential leads just from that as well. So, I mean, again, these are just off the cuff things that I'm thinking about where you can use geofencing. But the question is geofencing effective for attorneys? Yes, it is. And I just gave you a few examples of how you can use it. So if you're an attorney out there and you're wondering about geofencing, you're wondering about, hey, can this work for me? Give me a call, 888-416-7752, or you can send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. I'd love to sit down with you, have a consultation, and, let you know how this thing could work for you. So with that, I'm going to put an end to this episode. Hope you guys have a lot out of it. And more important, take action. Take me up on the offer. It's a free consultation that I'm going to give you of how it can work for you in your particular case and in your particular city. So I will see you guys next week. Hope you guys got a lot of it. And until that, take care and bye for now.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Law Firms, the podcast that provides you with all the latest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you would like to know more about the topic we discussed on the show today, reach out to Frank and his team at 888-416-7752 and schedule a discovery call with one of the marketing consultants. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, send an email to podcast@lbmsllc.com and we will put you on the schedule. With that being said, until next week, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.